Hi everyone, and this video will be about emotions, importance of emotions in self-realization. And this video is especially for those of you who are empaths, intuitives, so-called psychic, telepathic, and those of you who perceive other realities. Some of you took courses, and very often you can meet with this sort of signature contract. They want you to sign something like you are mentally stable, you are healthy, so kind of things, because they want to make sure that your emotions are balanced. And I don't know if it's always underlined enough in those by those workshops. I hope it is, and these times people already talk about it more and more, that dealing with balancing emotions is actually the first step when you are practicing anything else you would like to explore. So when you want to astral travel, doing remote viewing, it takes enormous abilities, mental and perceiving other realities. So it's absolutely crucial that you always supposed to start with balancing your emotions, because any images, any visions that are very usually happening randomly, and some of the people say that it's almost like hitting them in the forehead in an image, or they have a sudden rush of emotions. So if you don't know, are these feelings yours or somebody else, you may not be able to differentiate that in the very beginning. And you probably know that old joke. I don't know how I can even translate that into English, but it was about warlocks and witches. So if you say warlock to burn 1 square meter of grass, he would do exactly that. But if you tell that to the witch, the whole meadow will be burned, because she's, more emotionally capable of doing things. So she's not going to control it. That was maybe just a stupid joke, but there is something to it. There is something that emotions can get so out of balance when you are in the situation you're not prepared for, that it can take you over, simply as that. And I usually compare emotions like a galloping horse, like part of our subconscious mind. You can imagine, if that will help you, as a horse, and any strong emotions, it's exactly this gallop. So if you don't know that your subconscious horse is galloping, you probably will fall out of it. And unfortunately, it takes always those three factors I'm trying to keep repeating. So the time, the effort, the quality of the practice, because it's not how many times you do it and how long, but it's also how. And then that equals the result. Some of the people also told me that they don't want to have anything to do with that, because some of those abilities are spontaneous. So you don't really control that you are telepathic, that you can see, you have vision, maybe some of you see ghosts, and you wish you don't see it, because you have a certain evoking certain feelings, and some of it are too difficult just to deal with. The power of those, let's say, so-called challenging emotions, I will say it from another way. For anybody who is empath, that's from one side, but it also, when you are working with the challenging emotions, it also helps you in normal life. So it's actually not only for those psychic people, psychic practitioners, let's say, but it can be used in everyday reality when you need to relate to someone and you are exposed. Sometimes the situation are random and they are evoking in us something. I will share with you my personal way. I would just start, because if you are interested in more, of course, please ask me questions and let me know exactly. And I don't want to just list numbers of technique. Some of you already know most of them. They are in internet and there's a lot of videos about it, so it's not really about that. I'm just making this video to make sure that if you're having great visions, if you're going somewhere, but every now and then you are trapped into those emotions you're not dealing with, so you don't know what to do next, I always would advise anybody to go back to yourself and work with yourself for a while to check how you are controlling that galloping horse, how you can work with it. And so many of us, and actually all of us, would like to just feel good, and we don't want to go into challenging emotions or most difficult, and especially when they are just too much for something what's happening in our life. Unfortunately, this is not exactly how it works. We cannot go too quickly into feeling good unless we use some sort of other maybe pills or you know, drugs or herbs, something that is not so maybe natural but helps to put you in a better mood, at least for a while. But if you can handle it just for a few more seconds, maybe minutes, and it's very likely that you are going to transform that naturally into a better feeling, and you are also going to get grip of that specific emotion. So you can be in this emotion, this difficult one, and not freak out. You can still feel bad for a while, that's true. And usually what most of us have problem with is the first level. It's like, you feel bad, but you don't know exactly what it is. You know it's coming from somewhere. It's maybe connected to someone, but it's still you how you feel. So the first step, how I'm doing it, it's I'm asking myself where that feeling, that awful feeling that I don't like, it's located in my body. Is it my stomach, my head? Is it whatever, arms? Do I sense any tension there? When I locate that, and if I don't know, if I have a tension that it's not really precise, but it's there, I know something is off, then I'm asking myself, what is that emotion? I'm trying to search what it's related to. You may have images that come into your mind of certain words, or you say something randomly, or someone comes to your mind, maybe it's connected to somebody else. And then you can start, from that moment, you can start to work with that emotion and question it. So if some of you are good with being reasonable and asking reasonable questions, you probably would like to work more mentally here. So asking yourself, is that true? So question the emotion until it's going to dissolve. So kind of being a stronger voice of a reason that will talk you out of that emotion. That is on the mental level, if you can manage that. Some of you who are actually love to feel more and are more into exploring it and are not afraid of that anger or even fear, or they are, you can be fearful, but at the same time you would like to explore fear. So there are those two opposites feelings. So you can be scared, but you still have something that you want to go into it. So you can explore, and you can use movement to see how does it feel, who is so trapped into that emotion, and if you basically are becoming that emotion and see what it does. So you can here use your imagination, so you have images, visualization, plus going into movement. If it's an anger, you are turning into tornado and you are going into a story. What are you destroying? What is there? And only then you probably can transform it into more positive quality. So, for example, the tornado to clear out something, maybe something from you is seeking expression, and you just need to express it, whether to yourself or somebody else. And then from that moment on, instead of just screaming at someone, you can think of how you can express it safely for yourself and for somebody else. Just an example. Coming back to those difficult emotion one more time, what I'm trying to, and I hope I manage, portray is the absolute basics, that emotions are so powerful that if we do not control them, if we do not work daily on balancing them, then in those moments it will take us longer time. We're going to be fine, definitely after a while. But if a certain emotion, it repeats every day or for months and it's putting you down, eventually you are ignored. Eventually it becomes, it puts you in a depression because it takes enormous energy to ignore something that is nagging you internally. So it's even worse for the thoughts, because if you have a thought that it's not charged by heavy emotion, then you can ignore the thought much more easier than the emotion that is taking you over. The emotion is taking away the clarity of your thinking. So this is why I think this is the most crucial, to take care of your own balancing. And as everything in life, it's not going to happen instantly, although it depends what you are dealing with your life. And also psychic people, those who are telling me that they are predicting the future or they see the future naturally, and they are getting scared of that because what they're saying is not always positive, and these days it's maybe more scary than positive. So they are falling for being overwhelmed by the picture they are seeing. They become scared. So it takes them a little bit to put themselves back into balance and calm down if they're not aware of that. But of course, there are some people that telling me they saw in their life, they had such experience of seeing terrible things that they would never like to go that path again. So they're trying to block these talents, being intuitive, telepathic, and just sense the world. And it's no wonder, because basically, there is this another metaphor that I like very much. It's about knife. The knife is just a tool, just like emotion. They are just a tool. But of course, if we do not know how to control it, then that knife becomes dangerous, because as every tool, you can use it both ways to create good or not. Correct me if I'm wrong, and add maybe your own perception to it. I'm looking forward to hearing more from you. Thank you for another portion of inspiration, because if not, some of you would not challenge me to do these videos, I wouldn't do it. I just keep it for myself. Someone has to be absolutely interested in it, and then I share. And this is what I'm saying to you. It's not ultimate truth. I'm sharing with you what works for me and what worked in my practicing these things with other people so far. So yeah, this is it for today. Have a lovely day, and looking forward to hearing from you. Bye bye.